Good evening. Yada onyankopon wase ewo na ho bambo a wabo me nyina ende day. Aka ye ho ama asem. It has been by God's grace that we are still alive this evening. This evening we are going to continue the book we've chosen to study for our evening services. Kata na ngoma ya fa se yebesua no bosome a wo ye nimu no. Last week, you shall see the introduction in chapter number 1. Na enen so no yebebo modern na yatoa so na yakoso enya nimdi a nyankopon pese odema yen. We are going to continue our lesson this evening from the book of Ecclesiastes. Ade a yesua no eye osenkafo Solomon nyansafo no ensemo a okan ye ne niema oyeye na niema ohwehwe no hunu ye efa asetena ho no na yebesua eho ade. For the sake of those who weren't be able to come last week, may a recap moment mama last week in no yebeko so na akaye ho kakra wo na yesua no last week no yebete ase se yeka Ecclesiastes say obi a okasa eche enkofo yebehun say kasa ecclesia a yeyi Ecclesiastes ni film no eche a church and a group of people. Nti Ecclesiastes is someone who proclaim or who speaks to a group of people. Obi okasa eche enkofo na yebebiem behunu say enwoma no David ba osenkafo a Solomon ena echoye but okay chapter 1 verse 1 na ebinomo enyi ni say Solomon echoye but e be read Bible be hu say bibia eda e di say Solomon ena echo enwoma no afi be hu introduction say book na akasa no ekasa efa meaning of life asetlemu a yete no dint na wa asase so na ade a enka krata o senka wiase nyina the whole world you pay attention to it. Somewhere in 1965 there was a popular song in America. That song was the best hit song in America in 1965. So and the lyrics of the song, about 99% of the lyrics was taken from Ecclesiastes chapter 3. Today we are going to talk about it. And no more no was like a 14 years and in 1965 it was the best hit song in the world. That means the world really appreciates what the Bible says. Now Ecclesiastes chapter 3 we understand a lot of things. Not David, sorry, Solomon nyansafo no epese yehuno ebe hu say nyawopon aye aboni wiase ena wa manipa ho ekwan say yebetima search na ebe hu say osenkafo no ka asem bi e chapter 1 no say onyankopon de how bone ato nipa so. In chapter 1 na kasa na baby a the central theme I want to say nyakopon e de how bone. Let me check the English verse verse numbered. Okay, okay, so verse number 13. I set my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all that is done under heaven, this burdensome tax God has given to the sons of man, by which they may be exercised. So some people argue that God has cursed man, God has given a very bad attitude, bad tax to man. Now upon the name of born in our tunipaso. And yes, I na osenkafo no echre. The oche nyina say adebo nyankopon ebo yi nyina enipa na achusi say we will search out niema onyankopon aye into kan verse number 1 eba na obeche niema nyankopon generation go generation come nyankopon ye niema nyina the wind goes towards the south, they turns around, they do this. So God has set up things nyankopon setting niema and man is trying to find out. At the end of the day there's nothing to find out. bibia ni wa ebehunu because what God has created exists and exists forever. Nyankopon aye no saa ene ti nipa timi sesa no entimi nya ne hwe. Etimi my example say aye sa ade bi ekọ enwan ne ho sei. Na usi udi echa ko hwesa ade ekopem ba bia. Ubedi achi saa ade no dey no you go and come and you see nothing. It is saa na Solomon nyansafo no eche se Onyankopon aye ama ato ho no ma enipa ebo modern se obehunu den so bibi biara eni ho a enipa ebehuno. Yebeto aso e de free chapter 2. And the baby chapter 2, chapter 3 and 4 into no yen che ewo recap no eho. So you continue from chapter number 2. Obi ewo three Bible na obeboa yen na yafi ase. Chapter number 2, it talks about search for meanings. You do chapter 2 is the search for meanings. From chapter number 1, verse numbered 15 to 18. I think we have to start from there because last week, and they were chapter 1, verse 15 to 18. Hold on. It's here for chapter 1, verse number 15 to 18. Never me chapter 2 anymore. You share the Solomon Ekasa.
Chapter 1, verse 15. Dear Achiano, won't to me internet. Na dear Atia Kemono, won't to mean kind. Menema Koma Kasa say, me dear, she, Mamma Mina Sanson, I be breezing a wana, would de menim Jerusalem na. Na Makoma Ehunyansa, any nim dia a Dawson. Na me de margine she say, me Hunyansa. Na mehunu Adamo enen kwase asem. Na nso mehunu say ye nso eye dadwene hunu.
Okay, so ade Solomon if ase obehunu ye ne say Nyankopon de how bia to a enipa ebo modern say be penenso bia ehunu. Na ono de Nyankopon adom nyansa. Nyansa Nyankopon de dom no say nyansa o wiase nyansa e na wo Nyankopon eso nyansa. E no ye na adwen say do be ye nie. Nyansa ono no ewo no. Wonya nyansa asen nipa edi nanim na eti ode say nyansa no e be hwe enema mienu edi nka wo be hwe nyansa ewo asase so na wo hwe Jimmy oisu foli nkwasi asem na wo hwe say nyansa ene nkwasi asem nyansa fo ntimi hunu asetena mu ntiase sa nyansa fo ntimi hu a Jimmy fo nso betimi hu ana eti nkwasi asem ne nyansa that two contrast no obese ni mienu mu baako ebetimi akire asetena ase ana yento aso kakra
na mahunu damo ne nkwasi asem na nso mahunu se ye nso ye dadwene hu
afi adon de no se ohunu se nyansa ene nkwasi asem emu bia entimi enkire abrabo ase none of them can explain the meaning of life yento aso
na nyansa dodo mu ena ohaw dodo na nyansa dodo mu wo ohaw dodo na de otia nimde no tia areho.
Okay, eti na last week this year say abra nipa eguso search out for wisdom, yes search out na ye hu enema bebre no afi we keep on increasing in grief, in grief and sorrow. Now my example last week and say even so was some medical symptoms be na opese oko online na oko search say ade am me facing or what are the implications. You end up finding yourself in mess. It me be who say na dey here. The more man keeps searching out, finding out things, the more miserable we become. So mo person watch here. And the more any person find out the near ye market here no, ye the how kese e na eto ye ho so. Now obi ka san chen say o full play na. Who say too stressful. One motor full plane no. Too stressful. It's even better than say take care mu. Who I don't the day na bibi ko sikwa me fa hen ade. Okay, the more enipa increasing in wisdom, increasing in knowledge, we keep on increasing in the misery. It is so when we say nyansa be ba or pay ye nyina. It was so chapter 2 chapter 10 now which you want me to say it doesn't profit anything. And fashion ma I don't the day na how can send it there to your home. And it's true. You go school now, person your course are air. You know, on hard doors and I'm a yes. And I'm a what person quiet, you know, medicine free. You be read your book, because any person inya aketua kese inya dibre kese ne ade. And then you put a lot of pressure and a lot of mess on yourself, and that's what Solomon is trying to say. And those are the things that also so the more man seek for more wisdom, more knowledge, I mean ethical knowledge. Medical catchem last week say most of ensema Solomon canon. The key word that we see here, under the sun. So most of the things that all can we use under the sun. So most of them we compound a lot of mess, a lot of misery upon ourselves when we keep on looking for knowledge and wisdom from that. It is chapter 2, no. The way he decided to say, Obefa and maybe so because this book is a research book. It's the best research ever in the world. Solomon said, Obefa niema ekoso was I sitting niema ye. Na obomodin say, emu bia obeye bia no so no. He will be at the apex. Obewosro. Say sika no opa, obe the number one person who is kapa. Say a man obepa, obe the number one person ope mapa. And these are the things the women who say he is at the top. So if he is at the top and he's doing the research, the conclusion is final. And this has always existed. Last there was a proof as at now said the whole world as at now the richest man who has ever existed is still Solomon. The whole world Bema wape mapa as at now is still Solomon. The whole world Bema wonye nyansa pa nipa wonye nyansa owi asepa is still Solomon. For say it chapter 2 verse number 1.
Mekano makuma mu se bra na memfa enigye menso wonhwe jiwani na hwe eno nso ye wude.
Okay, so o shall say for the enigye ebeso ebehwe se enigye etimi emani party ababo ase a. And these are the things SHS sometimes binum ye bibi na some fa wonyima o de woni nti kra o de oyekulo o de oyesei. The we are see say when we engage ourselves in all those myth, Mary, those things, no, say we are fulfilled. But at the end of the day, we don't see anything out of it. Christmas, buy a GNE, pay a coba, a channel refi, and I'm a boy. 80 or so the Niger person one say, eh, be much pleasure, and Niger every time I'm not about Boasiana. Also jinenisa oka baby also piano ni ani jese ono no da you see we are seeing nani po wa jineni pa Solomon now na obi ka say Solomon oda nsuo mu na ma ba ko da ha na bi and funny like but the point is Solomon ajineni pa also the nije so no hwe ba won say enije nyansa bia enem ye to aso
verse 2 meka wo sere ho say adamo
afina sidia kwa anya sibio because was there to the point say adia esiro o say nya sibio ohun sidia say eyedambo ye nto aso
na meka no anigye ho say edien na wonya free mu.
Okay,
me pepe makoma mu say me de nsa besepe me ho. So
the first thing is now sound line. He considered laughter or merry or penigye dia say e bia bit mache the meaning of life, but then he went on to the second thing. That was wine and sanum. Say try and sanum ashe. Say and also a bit not say about Basiana. Now Monjadi answer na obe research no. Or say or the nyansa and a air to simply pay nyansa esi. Nipa was as na and through that wisdom no or the best search no. It's bra also best search wine no but who say wine it could affect him. It will can be now I'm a reference or Proverbs chapter 20. Verse number 3.
Na maso nkwase asemu makosi say mehunu de eyema enipa ma wobeye no osoro ase. Won kwan na etie mu.
Verse number 3 but can be
nso na me manyansa akere makoma kwan.
I say enso na me manyansa akere makoma kwan. The reason is that Proverbs chapter 20 verse number 1. I say wine is deceptive. Ensa ofodifo. Na nsaden tokapeni. The otomuntin tan ye dey. Enim nyansa. He might fall into it. say oma ensan o ama nyansa anche no kwan a obetimi afford because ensa e ofedi for and that is it ensa e ofedi for unya attempt a ebe foul it o manyansa e che no kwan while he was tempting trying wine but you to us verse 4
meyeye enwuma akese misisi adan meye bobitru ahodo fai meye tru ahodo ene baabi a yetu mpasa mesiesie ho na metete mu enua a eso aba ahodo nyina bi meyeye insu atade na medimu nsu magugu kwaya enua efefe wo mu no so minya nkoa ene mfena na efie nipa nso ewo me nso minya anentwie enwa ni mrichie kwakuo pi sene wona wodi manim Jerusalem nyina nso meboa adwete sika ahemfo ene nsase
so the next thing I so be say obey japade no keeping him busy with a lot of work. So why and science me mano ante ababo say nenu anu no monsaka se be ma de wo se onu mu bon de ben ni sa na ma no tunu mo se ni nyina e vanity ni nyina ante mi kira ababo ase eti wo de ensa nom so eto nchen e na obehwe se obeye adwuma obebo bra na wo sisi adan no wa ye niam akese wunya ebe na kind the book of 1 Kings chapter 7 verse number 1 to 12 ba mu so mo e the 13 good years it's see adan 13 years to build houses housing projects otimi oye field otumum pasa okay wo no ma osore ko nante ko tumum pasa keke so mo did all these things to find out meaning of life na owie no e no be say I for be gada sika obe say sika so ebetimi amanate ababo ase ana last na meka say unya be na wo the book magazine so money magazine Solomon is as at now the richest man in the world. He is still the richest man. He had a lot of gold, a lot of diamonds, a lot of silver. Now Solomon, we are seeing as at now where comparative measure. In fact, escaphobia sika into Solomon. So mo be sika also entina cha babase. Na ento as verse number 9.
Na meye kese me koso mesne wona wodi manim Jerusalem nyina na menyansa enso ewo me ho
okay
na bibia mani hwehweye no manka me no
so verse number 10 now what try eniema what try sika what try ensa what sa na manyina ahwe ni nyina ntimi amana ante ababo ase o say when whatever my eyes desired I did not keep them from them I did not withhold my heart from their pleasure for my heart rejoice in all my labor. So say adibiara afu hu we ya no so adibia was asu bia no so we say could these things give meaning of life? Sa na ma we nyina beti match the meaning abrabo ase na o se nyina ntima cha wa ase. Now verse number 10 yeah. Yen kan we.
Na bibia mani hwehwe no manka me no mensi makoma ani die bia ho kwan. Na makoma ani je mebre no enyina mu. Na yeye mebre no nyina mu chefa.
Okay, verse number 11 now they see.
Verse 11. Ena medane mani mehwe menuma mensa yo nyina ene bra mebre
so let's go back to verse number 10 before you come to verse number 11.
Verse 10. Na bibia mani hwehwe no manka me no mensi makoma enidie bia ho kwan. Na makoma enije mebre no nyina mu. Na yei eye mebre no nyina mu chefa.
So for my heart rejoice in all my labor. And this was my reward for all my labor. Answer last week, I said, so more first was say, Nema way na I would and chapter 11 of Beckham. Chapter 11 of Beckham, we say, okay, let's read the 11 and we will explain verse 10.
Verse 11. And I'm a Danny, many me share me numa, men sayo nina, any bre me bre me yo, na she, nina ye who dear. Ene dadwene hunu na mfaso bia enimu wiase
so there's no profit faso bia ni nema we nyina so. Now verse number 10 obeche say the only thing I wonya here is to have a glimpse of what he had made. Yen kan verse 10 no so
mensi makoma ni de bia ho kwan na mani eje mebre no nyina mu na yei eye mebre no nyina mu chefa
se nipa nya japade nipa ye nema no nya japade a Solomon asani ni say there's no profit under the sun. And for so be any other so the only reward we have is say we enjoy some our asses so kakai and yama ye no. What boy about brabia when you scar to car? The only reward you have is say what you can who are can it doesn't profit anything. But I say it doesn't profit anything. You can only turn and watch what you have done and be proud of yourself. Say, Metimia Peja Daniel ways you have been able to bake up this mansion. That's the only reward you have. That's the only pleasure we have. But there's no profit for anything we do on this earth. It's almost say, oh yes, 13 years building project. He just rejoiced. Say, oh, I own all these things. But at the end of the day, it was nothing. Last week, a video be Mark Tyson video you read. About 20 years of his life, he has fought a lot of battles. Breaking the spinal cord in those things in a belt, or sitting in a garbage. And as more kind of say, when he was young, those things were priority. But when you grew up, priorities changed. It's profit nothing. BBA. So as at that time, they know when say or share or one share, I didn't mention, but in reality, he has nothing has been profited. Unya be papebia in film. It turns out Solomon eka ehun asem no. Say nyama ebe nyina no. Yenya the best thing say you betimi ayusu bi edibia yenya a share of it e was as so now it was can very interesting say why nya japade kra no. Na japade no. Wetimi enya mumfa so kakra was as no. It's a gift from God. Let me say this. I think it's a very quite disturbing, but my main last week, na me call ifie na me call towards the interview. So in fact, me real young guy to say me car mono say Hyundai Elantra na oni obi kunya accident e ka crash na edu wono nipa o ka be mo ntimi anhwe abrante no o mo yinat na asi wono say ne nan ni nyina bubu. The nine really bubu and unye doctor kwa hu adi we see betwa nice guy was no white jean sneakers what dress come out just from a sofa kwan so wa nine nyina bubu when I saw the scene the guy was not crying or they said what say Lord I'm dead you see when who say if we answer son the nana try say car auto and ultimate car bio. The reward all car no it has ceased. Someone is going to drive the car. So what profit has he made? It is Solomon Bekan or say yenya japade kra me so obi asidan wo sidan na wiwe kra jatom. So for you to even have a taste of what you have made, it's a gift from God. It's yanto asukakra.
Verse 12. Na medane mani say mehwe nyansa ene adammo ene nkwase asem. Na edien ena onipa a obeba ohene akire no beye. De waye no tete entre de no a. Na mehunu say mfaso ewo nyansa musine nkwase asem mu.
Okay, so now ohese obefa wisdom and folly. And I know friends so can. After obe conclude say it's better say nipa be hunu nyansa. Eti wisdom na waka. One or asase nyansa kwa eti minti ababa na wa wajimi. Pastor say yes. The ono so no so kwa nyansa obeka na say onu po antas asase na wa wajimi wo de unka ho kra. Because with earthly wisdom alone no yet me figure out niam ya podi hinta nipa wa asase so Ecclesiastes chapter 3 ebe che niam bi okay ade yakopon aye ankasa enuti abibia nipa find out niam aye hunu but there was hunu pa na yehu and man is not ready to find it enuti nipa eble wa asase so na edu onu ma meka mema mo movie bi a me hwe ye ene nam da compare na ya te ase yie eti ohun se nyansamu ewo emfaso esin Jimmy, but I don't know the enemy is vanity. That's the point he was making. Okay, earthly wisdom is vanity. Earthly folly is vanity. But it's better you have earthly wisdom than having folly. eti ɛwɔ ne point ana o make patcho yɛn to asakra.
Na mehunu sɛ mfasoɔ wɔ nyansa mu sene nkwaseasɛm mu sɛdeɛ han mfasoɔ sene sum deɛ no.
Yes.
Onipa nyansafoɔ nim faako a ɔrekɔ na ɔkwasea deɛ esum mu na ɔnanteɛ.
Okay, so if you read the English, you say the wise eyes are in his head, but the fool walks in darkness. The eyes are in his head. They say or the najo the nyansa and a nantie, but kwasea deɛ or the onanti esum like unim nyansa or to oye name bia send your ope. Patcho yɛn to aso.
Nanso mehunu nso sɛ esan korɔ no a ne esan wɔ nyinaa.
Exactly. So eti as far as you know what I say so there. Whether say unim nyansa sin will be o. We are all in this earth and bibia timi now at the same time. It talk I say esan kwa timi tu wom nyina ni nyina ya ohu de fa so eni nyina so wo wi ase nyansa sin obia so mo conclude say nyansa owo ye sin na chidifo nyina no it didn't profit him anything. Patcho into aso.
Verse 15. Na meka no makoma mu sɛ okwasea esan no abi ene ebi san men so.
Okay, also say okwasea ne san ne be san men so. Verse number 1 obesha say he gained a lot of wisdom than anybody on earth. Everybody on earth. Obinya nyansa sin obia. So let the be buy Jimmy for be nyansa ni. But there to omono and on to no talking about death ewuo. The beto Jimmy for no the same thing na beto no nyansa no. The to aso.
Na eno de ade nti na mehunu nyansa mesne ebinom.
So why then should I have more earthly wisdom than them?
Na mese no makoma mu sɛ ye nso ye ehuhude.
Then they conclude say ene ye ehuhude. Ene da dwene hu no. Patcho ento aso. However, nyansa sin Jimmy say yet point na ode banase. Aha. Patcho ento aso.
Na onyansafo ene okwasea nyinaa won kai won da. If we say ena ebeba no mu no ena na ere efri enyina dada.
It is that's the point because as I see because of said they enyina profit nothing it no say Jimmy ni wuko nyansani wuko I don't know no bia memory will be forgotten. But I say to who say nyansa wa kwase nkofo ni nyina no fine or the niam bebre but then the day no obekọ obi ankai ne biom Jimmy for no so beko obi ankai ne biom so it profit nothing. Then to aso.
If we say na eye den ena onyansafo ne okwasea nyina ewuo ena asetena fono me
o say ene because of that no say asetena efono no therefore I hated life. Therefore I hated life. Life profits nothing. Life without God. Send them the last week, life without God hated him. Patcho ento aso.
If we say na enoma woye no wiase no enye wo mani so. Na ni nyina ye uhudie ne dadwene hu no.
Ento aso.
Na mebrɛ no wiase ni nyina fono me. Se mi beja no ho mama onipa a obedi made no. Na hwan na onim se obeye onyansafo ana okwasea.
So that's the point. Okay, why any near many never na profit hwe obeja na asase so akọ ba nipa ko no ko aba be continue sin ba be nyansafo so be kwasea onim eti that mess no will keep on ebeko so wa asase so still now even the chiri kwampo no he might not have profit bibia fa so bi amane ma oye so wa asase so etimi ko du ba bia eti na chi no nipa oba be di ade no that person be even wise or fool or foolish. I don't know, he has to just forget about it. Even more even the next of kin because of this with the Japanese question will be inside nipa no be say no madam brother forget about it because I don't know it will profit nothing. Yes, obia wuama because of say or the komo obia ebe into wanya Japanese and then also class asem no and the tokwa sign dey aba ebusuam because e Japan no no one year real no sorry 1 year real nti no e do how aba ebusuam ni mo it will we come say me I prefer say if I make money I prefer to use the money to impact in people like me buanko for here for and dan say Messi see adan ni ade this is my decision. I see people who have made a lot of mansions obi can oh made dan be 10 no dan say ni ade. That's fine, but at the end of the day, what you create a lot of mess for people. Why don't you impact in people, build up people, and you go? Okay, and we make personal decision. And I think Solomon, the dilemma, no one has say no, should speak to us. Say you make a lot of, properties. Now, nipa obabe handle no kwano was say no. Hey, Miss will be at school or school no good because of the nipa obe share. So and yes, about 80% I'd never say. I tell you, we see the richest men we have in Ghana here, no. If you go close to them, someone like Despite all those people, no. As at now, probably they are contemplating. Say, Ukopa, wine pan, a bit my handle in the media and the Sunday men ama akoso. They are contemplating. Okay, so that's what Solomon is trying to say. But you're into us.
Now, so obedi ma dia mebre ho mede nyansa mina no riase nyina so. Yesu ye uhudie.
Yes, because what bre apinyansa e de nyansa ye. Excuse my words, obi di Jimmy ebedi so. So, eti and the man ye ne yan, but only say at the end of the day, nyansa ni o Jimmy ni obi abeko, obi ani yi. But say ono di nyansa aya de no obi di Jimmy abedi so na was say ade no kwa no, and also na odwon. But well I say, let me forget about it and go. Because at the end of the day, no, me akasa me and I didn't get any profit out of it. So that's how I put it 20. But you to verse number 7 away.
20.
Okay, 20 yes.
Na menu me ho e wo bra me bre oriase no nyina ho. If we say etoda esese obi a ode ni nyansa na dwene ni nim de abre aye adwuma no ogya ni nyina ho ema de wan amre befa ye nso ye hudie ene adebone kese.
So eti nipa bebre was asase so abaye japade adon the day na wentimi am prophet wentimi enya eso chefa na ogya am obi na nipa na ba befa na nipa na amre ho hwe na ba befa ko enti o se no so ye hudie ne adebone ye to so
na eden na onipa nya no wo ne bre nyina ene na koma mu dadwene a ode ha ne ho owiase no mu na ne na nyina ye ayayade
ni na nyina ayayade we keep on eguso eble every single day page apade dey na o se benya every so adon the day
na ne ha eye no areho nso anadwumpo na koma nto ne yem ye nso ehudie eno no
verse 24
bibi pa bia ena ho ma onipa sene se obedidi na wanom na wama ne kra ehunu adepa ne bre no mu ye nso mehunu se onyankopon sem ne firi
exactly it has an point ni nyina wo everybody ade nyina e free bana I don't dey japade yi bia no e de beko okay but on ka say menye japade men mobra empiska men live good but what I dey also show team say sa ne ma obenya na sa sesu nyina onfa nko ba bia the only profit you have e wa dwuma wo ye ne japade a wo ye nyina ne say sika na wonya ya obedidi obenom and that the soul should enjoy good in his labor. This also I saw was from the hand of God. It's the point I'm making say, sir, if I saw we say because book in your say, the only profit they say, you best know when you be down, when they be okay. But however, you better be for so so. But and also so crown young upon a sadema. Minimzamuti de can say, if I saw Benano, you wait in Yamina dema. Say a best soon you be not down on a better profit, ever my the reward. He will give us the reward after our death if we do the right thing. Even on earth, after our mess, even if you are able to make up something for you to enjoy it, it's a gift from God. For you to enjoy it. And I make one once no. Say, Ubia worry ya the next day now. What do I enjoy in the marriage? Yes, and it's very practical, it's very real, and it's the book of Ecclesiastes it's a very good book. It's for you to enjoy the work of your hand, no. It's a gift from God. It is what occur. Maybe I can't watch 23 years. It's a gift of God. What makes you dying? Now one can dying. What made them? You've been able to sleep in the room for 5 years, 1 year, 2 days. It's a gift from God. That's what man should recognize, to acknowledge. And also the party to me. 25.
Enyo no a Why nanka obetumi edidie?
Exactly.
Ana why nanka obetumi enya enigye? Na onipa a oye ewo Nyankopɔn anim no, ɔma ne nyansa ne nimdeɛ ne enigye. Na ɔde boye ni deɛ, ɔma ne ha ne ho tase ade boa no de ma deɛ ɔyɛ ewo Nyankopɔn anim.
Okay.
Yei nso yɛ wuhudeɛ ne dadwene mu no.
Eti the oche nyan say Nyankopɔn control all these things in life. Say nipa betima enjoy ne stand no adwuma. Now, ɔse nipa tene no Nyankopɔn epese ɔma no enjoy niema wɔyɛ. Na de ɔyɛ kwase a so de ɔyɛ ɔbɔneɛfo deɛ. Nyankopɔn ebegye niema a ɔwɔ no na ɔde ama ɔfoforo a ɔyɛ tene ni. I say ɔfoforo a ɔgye ɔsom no na wa enjoy. And it is God's will to do that. Now, and the parable Matthew chapter 25, yeah. Akoya ye man no ye ode kosi ya wan fa mobre so obegye na ode be ma wona we dey owo bi na wakoso sa e na etie eti that's how the chapter 2 e kan wasem the chapter 2 e kan na e me beti ase say it's in the search for meanings. Okay, if bibia yebenya na sase su bia no the gift of God for us to enjoy our labor on earth is a gift from God. Labor on earth nema ya na sase su na will profit nothing at the end of the day. But say a bit menya so fa so kakrampo no Nyankopɔn e na e de ema yenko chapter 3 na mse ebe no enti no ye tell na yetimi nkofo no na next year to aso
Chapter 3. Or say ade bia wone bra wa hye no na ebre e wo ho ema adwuma bia osoro ase.
okay
Awo ewo ne bre na owu ewo ne bre ote ewo ne bre na de wate no etutu ewo ne bre okum ewo ne bre na osa ewo ne bre bubu ewo ne bre na osie ewo ne bre esun wo ne bre e na sere ewo ne bre abobodie wo ne bre e na asa ewo ne bre abotogu ewo ne bre e na abo anoboa ewo ne bre atu ye ewo ne bre e na atu ntitemu ewo ne bre ohwehwe ewo ne bre e na oyerwa ewo ne bre nhweso ewo ne bre e na otogu ewo ne bre osuane ewo ne bre na opam ewo ne bre komi ewo ne bre e na okasa ewo ne bre odo wo ne bre e na otane wo ne bre akudi wo ne bre e na amanwe ewo ne bre mfaso ben e na de oye adwuma no nya no de obre no mu.
Okay, 80 chapter 3 with open statement all matter say man is confined by time. On say chapter 1 no obeme hu ne ma Nyankopɔn ye ni pentimi nya no hwe. Chapter 2 so no oba e be kire mu. Chapter 2 be kire say God has created the world like wama waye wa create ewiase no e na bibi biara activity se koso ewiase nyina no it is controlled by time. Time is powerful than man. Ebre ho odene sin nipa bibia na sase su bia no time e na control yen. Eti with that premise no e na ode ba be kire say ade bia ye be na sase su no a baby bass you will not be able to continue to do. And a certain only energy and time controls whatever activity that goes on. A banner near ma and I say a done than near ma it's at some point in time be papa beba at some point in time baby bonne beba a bread and a control no. Chapter 9 verse number 11 I can't be. Na yen hwe kakra na yen fa emeti we na chapter 9 verse 11 yen draw but yen jump ko mra.
Chapter 9 verse 11 mesane me hunu wi ase se enye ahoherefro e de ani amikatuo na enye nomerema de ani okon na enye nyansafo de ani aduane na enye hunumufo de ani ahunya na enye nimdifo de ani animonyam na ebre eni isan etuwo nyina
eti de oche no you see sometimes na se nipa obi na obi play japade bi ho anase obi na obi enya competition bi obi bi ho ekon ade ho a ya na nipa wi afi se eye time na determine enema ye na sase so enye effort bi a ye wo anase nimde bi a ye wo sen oyonko no Meti maka se bia mene oni bi e ko pre bi wan se ko battle. E china meti me time can close me decision bi bia me obi I can close it out. It don't say and yet I returned and saw under the sun. The race is not for the swift. And you will be a winning to any dia. Nor the battle for the strong, nor bread to the wise, nor riches to men of understanding, nor favor to men of skills, but time and chances happen to them all. Life is controlled by time and chances. Obi esikeni because opportunity be kushia na baby be na won shia. At that point in time, probably if I had gotten that same opportunity, I come to me esikeni and I'm a yes. And now me make my co reading come like why business and yes kapa and I no catch himself. What else I do want be say. And then maybe a opportunity be a bim say kwame despite mu enya ye no. It's not because of time and chances. Because on say o share Ghana ye like ye ko ye nim no. Ye one maybe one man na o man nya ndu ho. E na e betu bi no benya no be continue from there. Okay, so betima bie and so case will be a TV station na na begigin pa very difficult because they say no TV station emu era any one like the old ones have existed but at some point in time na any honum so it was an opportunity for someone meaning some point in time can I say it became an opportunity for someone to start it from there so time and chances and are working throughout the world and God has made it that and any point means some it mean na hwe eti nipa esusu fantu ye ho set mo wasting way my wasting way you got a time you got a chance in a time obi enya eno na ema wo we bia wo no eti emfa ejapade ne ma entu ye ho ntina ka say the race is not for the swift nor the battle for the everything is controlled by God and time and chances make them all nti eno na office what na ye nto asokakra na ye fa chapter 3 no ensina question time embra
verse 10 mahunu obre adwuma a onyankopɔn de ama nipa ma sɛ wɔmrɛ ne no wayɛ ade nyinaa fɛfɛɛfɛ ne brɛ mu bio nso ɔde mrɛ santen ho adwene ahyɛ wɔn akoma mu nanso nipa ntumi nhunu de onyankopɔn ayɛ firi mfitiaseɛ kosi awieyɛ no.
Okay, God has put eternity into man's heart. I say a very central theme of chapter number 3. The TNA Onyankopɔn ayɛ wayɛ ade bia beginning and the end. There's time for this and there's time for this. There's time for this, there's time for this. And now Onyankopɔn ɔse ɔde mɛnsa to the eternity ana de wa witness for you test we omu nisu ni ye. Ba ma menkyere mu ye. God has put in there's a God-given awareness that there's something more somewhere to find. Dinamiko po aye nipa kuma mu ni ye. Or the adibia shenipa mu a every time man sees that there is something else every day obetima find it out but on the day there is nothing it can eternity I was saying men something I said I need this I get this I want this me here we every time nipa say you find it out but on the day there is nothing else to find and obi can say was it God has putting eternal longing or sense of eternity in the man's of heart. We possess an innate knowledge that there is something more to life than what we can see or experience. It is a divinely implanted awareness or a to be filled space of emptiness in man's heart. It's now why any say last time I say we creating an empty hole like I said but to be say enim. Okay. But nipa feel say I was say you're filling it out. But I don't know the day you to could be filling it out. So we keep searching and finding. We should move meaning so we have start moving and exams. We have black start moving on. And describe the way now upon a year. Now my can say one I mean we say we are bound by seasons and time. And God has placed clues in it so that we will be wise and figure it out that life becomes meaningful if only we have the fear of God. It will happen as at the beginning and the end. And our onukoya eka begin adna fitasani awiye and ode ato amayen and was the eternity eka eternity as adebia Abribia a okay, it doesn't have an end. As I say nipa mu. And the nipa is seeking for something. I say a na picture bia akwabiti nantwie so na ode aduane I say ahaban aponche ha and ode ahaban abo na bewe asan ni mu say. So abuana person or haban, but the more na abuana person no is not able to get the leaves. And oguso eko. Eti nipa create some sense of eternity. As abuana say, I don't know sabeka kosofa. But at the end of the day, there's nothing to find. Ontimi ne sentimi nka. Obe kwa ontimi nfa. Sanya upon aye nipa. So God has putting eternity in man's heart. Some movie American once a mean. Now kofu bi kopɛ adwuma. Na adwuma no mo kwa kopɛ no. Yese wo so mutual exams. And nipa be 10 or 11 or so got na room one. Na omutina room one and a day people number 2 woman. People number 2 woman na empty sheets. Be beer ni so. Empty white sheets. And the 2 woman. And invigilator number no be man instruction. Instruction ni be say wo show us say o ma answer. Na one answer na you wrong. Pe wa fail ni abefo p. Afei so say o say o people na e ba befo p. O mama instruction be o pie kwa abonta okodwo so a wontim na biem o mama instruction say bibia wodan bibi o muhia bia wodan nim eno mutan ase within better 30 minutes no bia entimi nkasa na ko mutipa no sa obi entimi nkasa ena akwa ba ko realize say invigilator na ka say wontim nkasa invigilator no ho that means say yen betima kasa kasa yen ho ene kwa no mo na obi anyini eno start kasa kasa ho ana ampa say na they have the right to talk to each other. It's very interesting movie. After you ana akwabi a physicist or no people na bia na ya infect no eti light no in your blue light ebet bia na blue light ebetimi ama yen ehu enya visible am ebetimi hu say bia questions na kasa share penim omu say white light na blue light epiaba omu de share ya answer omu enya hwe afi abakom so material engineer o say ebia e de nsuo group no so a na ya de share lighter ebetima mayen ebetima penetrate amaye hu no ma for people no but omo go for people no dem say ni people ni me say me for na aka say kai say or say you cannot you shouldn't destroy your paper so I can destroy somebody's paper but not my paper and nobody will be there no mu ye and every single time omo pe bia omo nya no dan nim omo pe nsuo say na shower dan nim omo search here they find it they got every single thing. At the end of the day there was not an answer. After America for me a bad or thoughts and or say, mine said there's one question before you and there's one answer is required. It will feel say that means say a human open paper eti motive no so be a mistake if you neka baako eti try say man ko fa a mistake and power man nipa be 4 a mistake e bo mu pie and the nipa be 5 omu ye want me and find the answer. I don't know there was no answer on the paper. They were expecting them to say there is no answer. That's how God has made it. God has created the world and he has placed a lot of clues, but the clue was finally said the answer is him. But man, we are doing a lot of things. We say Yakob Pluto Aba nti Yakob bi ani ba bia. Hey, obeye bibia we can find everything you want to find. But the answer is there. When you talk about the movie exams, a very interesting movie, and it's in accordance to send Ecclesiastes, Ekasa Efa, the Nagopon, Ayasa, say Nawaye Nipa. We provide everything. Try to search out for everything. You can search it. With my search it, is it biology? Yetima umon who they woni pemubia. What Yadebia ba a denya scientists will find out. Acquire identify so by and what do they will find it. That's how God has made the world. But there's time for everything. Everything will end. Coronavirus by away. Since you say a new be you said that's all honey, they were still not any hope. Meaning this so there's time for everything. There's time for everything. Because of time, we read chapter 3. You know more than said chapter 3, but basically there was in our chapter 3 mono. The akana obecha about say enipa ene mboa difference bia enim. E ho no so very controversial but ebre pem no ye be kan eno so e ho asem. Ye de be sia na say obu o asem bi se bia na ode aba.